I was really disgusted with this whole thing, Abilify. I mean, marketing drugs to the drugged masses. So it almost makes people who are not on psychotropic drugs, who are not on medication, feel like, why ain't I on? Look at all this great stuff people are on. And then, of course, there's that market out there that, you know, the people that abuse Adderall and just take it to take it. And, I don't know what's wrong with people. Folks, come on. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying don't step out and have a brouhaha once in a while or, you know, have a little bit more fun. Everything in moderation. You don't need to hook yourself on Lexapro only to hook yourself on Abilify. I mean, look at the woman out here too. It's like she's concerned that she's not happy enough. Yeah, oh yeah, she's like you know what? Maybe I'm not happy enough. I mean, these drugs, just more drugs, please, more drugs. So, gee, I wonder if this Indonesian prime minister might be right about boosting profits for pharmaceutical companies. See, it goes beyond that, and I wouldn't doubt that she's probably said that this was a eugenics program and it's also population control. But this is what is this off of ABS News, ABS-CBN News? So it seems like a mainstream news outlet. They might be holding back a little bit, but at least this Indonesian health minister is not holding back at all, calling it like she sees it. Again, folks, 3 different strains of flu in this quote-unquote swine flu. It's not really swine flu. It's swine flu, bird flu, and human flu. And then, of course, Baxter, just 2 months ago, gets caught putting 14 different countries the same strain of anti-bird flu vaccine that magically has 2 types of bird flu and a type of human flu in it. Three types. 3 and 3. I wonder combinations. If Abilify can help my Lexapro, perhaps the Baxter vaccination can help my swine flu. I mean, it's out of control. Out of control. And another thing that I found extremely out of control was the disgusting arrogance of this Times Online article. And this Times Online article is 9/11 conspiracy theories. The truth is out there, just not on the internet. You see, once it hits the internet, it's no longer true. It's like this punk on 9/11 telling me that FEMA only recorded 800-degree temperatures at ground zero. Doesn't matter if I have Pataki on camera, who was very close with the officials throughout the process, saying, oh, yeah, it's still steaming over there weeks later because there's temperatures of over 2,000 degrees underground. See, Pataki made that up or he was mistaken. See, they never get it right when it doesn't agree with the debunkers' viewpoints. They never get it right then. Same with Giuliani. Giuliani said before the 9/11 Commission, over 2,000 degree temperatures there. I post an article of the head of FEMA in New York, James Baker Sky, talking about 2,700 degree temperatures at the World Trade Center. And I'm the liar. I'm Johnny McLili, apparently, according to the Times Online. Because in his new book, a Times commentator debunks the world's greatest conspiracy theories. Here he deconstructs those that followed 9/11 and the 7/7 bombings. I know I'm sounding like a half-retarded Casey Kasem, but I don't know what else to do when I'm reading this crap. The internet has created shadow armies whose size and power are unknowable. Cyberspace communities and semi-anonymous and occasionally self-invited individuals have grown up, some of them permitting contact between people who in previous times might have thought each other's interests impossibly exotic or even mad. See, right away, you're crazy! Thank God for the internet where crazy people can get together and be super crazy! Remember, folks, it's only true if it's not on the internet now, apparently. Once it's on the internet, it's no longer true. At the same time, the democratic quality of the net has permitted the release of a mass, undifferentiated information, some of it authoritative, some speculative, some absurd. But increasingly, material originating on the net has turned up in pop culture, a millennial version of the word-of-mouth route to popularity. The online encyclopedia Wikipedia has, at the time of writing, become the first resource for many students, despite the amusing randomness of its reliability. Now, again, Wikipedia is a tool just like anything else. It can be used for good or evil. You have to back up your sources. I tend to go to the bottom of the page where the footnotes are, and you check the footnotes information. You don't just blurt out what's on Wikipedia. If it doesn't have a footnote, then you further check out the claim to make sure it's legitimate. But apparently on the internet, it doesn't matter. Nothing's legitimate. All right, we're going to go to Eric, Alex, Cliff, and more. On the other side, it's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.
The GCN Radio Network, providing the world with hard-hitting talk radio. GCN, great talk radio starts here.
Marines and multinational forces train in Florida. That's something we're going to be going over later, as well as this other article that's over at Prison Planet and InfoWars. Parents upset over FEMA coloring book. In it, of course, a depiction of the World Trade Center terror attacks. All the loving people at FEMA here to desensitize our children. All right, I said I'd go to your calls, and I do want to cover more in depth this 9/11 article, this conspiracy kook article out of the Times Online, but we'll do that later in the show. Let's jump to Eric in Pennsylvania. Eric, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason. I think I picked a bad week to stop drinking. Bad year to stop drinking. Oh, boy. So, yeah, I want to talk about some solutions here. Your doctor that was on Alex Jones this morning, Dr. Rebecca Carley, she mentioned that you can vaporize colloidal silver and breathe it in through your lungs, and it'll actually coat your lungs, and it'll stop the infection from taking place, but it'll kill the virus in your lungs. I just wanted to expand on that and say that you should also spray it in your nose, too, because you breathe in through your nose, and it'll breathe there, and also on the mask, like on the mask. So this way, when you breathe it in, it'll kill the viruses and stuff in the mask too, because that's very important.
All those are really good things. The only thing that I would say is that you might even want to stay away from the mask. I really feel like the mask is feeding into the fear-mongering and the panic around the country, and especially in the city areas now where they're starting to hand them out at work, and they're telling people to go home at the slightest sign of anything, and they're thinking about quarantining schools. I don't know if I would be, you got the colloidal silver. I think breathing it in, drinking it up, is okay. I don't think the mask is going to be necessary. Again, I really think that feeds into the hype of all this.
Yeah, and also, it was like today I was outside. It was a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. Of course, the skies were completely they're just completely filled with chemtrails. And I'm watching this one plane. It had 4 streams behind it. It's obviously spraying stuff. And I'm thinking, that's like a big sneeze. That's somebody with the bird flu sneezing on you.
That, that's one of those conspiracy theories, and that is a theory.
Oh, yeah, I heard it on the internet, so it must be just my opinion. I want to thank everybody out there for their hard work and dedication. I want to thank you and Alex and all your crew there, man. We really appreciate you a lot. We're going to keep fighting, man. We're not going to let you guys do it alone. So everybody out there, step it up. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Eric. I really appreciate the call. I downloaded yesterday's Daily Show because of that caller where apparently they're making fun of our position on the bird flu, that it may be bioengineered. I do have it. I wasn't able to view it, so I don't know if we're actually going to play that on the show today. It would have to be in my little quick breaks to go see it and then find a way to burn it and then send it to Jumpin' Jaron over there and have him put it up on the screen for the kids. I don't know if it's all possible. All right, let's jump to our next caller. Let's go to Alex in Connecticut. Alex, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, listen, I just came home from rehearsal, church here, and I guess one of the ladies was telling me, I guess, because of this whole swine flu thing, they're closing down the schools.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
And where you're in Connecticut? So they're going to close schools tomorrow because of the swine flu.
Yeah, it's right outside of Hartford in my town, and I went to the website, and I guess, can I say the town on air, or?
Sure.
Yeah, Wethersfield, Connecticut. And actually, Channel 3 Eyewitness News, I went to the website, I'm actually looking at it now. I guess if you go to just type in swine flu or go to the health, they're talking about, I guess they held a drill today in Hartford. It says, as the number of swine flu cases rises to 50 in the United States and the World Health Organization raises its pandemic alert level, health officials in Connecticut are preparing for a possible outbreak. And I guess the Capital Region Emergency Planning Committee planned to hold the drill at South Church schools and hospitals across the state. Have also been on alert. I guess, and I was like...
those are going to be the community centers. I mean, obviously the hospitals are there, but when they're overrun, they'll have to use the schools and they'll use the churches. I mean, that's what they want. They want large masses of people to be in fear for their life, and they already passed, like I said, this is over at INFOWARRIOR. Right now, the FDA has approved emergency measure to carry out mass dosings of U.S. citizens with antiviral drugs in the event of a widespread swine flu pandemic. If they convince us all that this is legitimate and there's a chance for us to die, they are literally going to inoculate or drug millions of people. Don't take it. Don't drink the water. I thank you for the call. We're going to come back, take more calls. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. PrisonPlanet.com, Infowars.com.